Well, hello everybody, welcome back to Tousi TV, your global news channel. We come to you guys with some breaking news from the heart of Gaza, specifically Gaza City. As the Israeli Defense Forces have issued the evacuation, the civilian areas are now being evacuated as we speak. There's an ongoing situation as the IDF are hammering the Islamists in the Gaza Strip. We also are going to be bringing you guys our a live feed from Gaza thanks to our Tousi TV team. We'll obviously stay with this and find out what on earth is going on over there. But first things first, before we begin, it's important to mention that the actual offensive operation by the Israeli military have already started from the northern part of Gaza. And there is a lot to come over the next few hours. And this channel will keep you guys posted, of course. And there is a development in Lebanon as well. The Lebanese government are disarming Hezbollah, which is also absolutely major. We're going to go to that shortly. First things first, let's talk about what's going on. The IDF have issued the initial warnings to the medical authorities and the international organizations in the northern part of Gaza, signaling the preparations for a planned invasion of Gaza City. As part of these efforts, the coordinations are now being made. They have contacted the medical officials and also the aid groups on, technically yesterday, but also this morning, to facilitate the evacuation of civilians from Gaza City to the southern parts of the Gaza Strip. So they're going to be sent towards Rafah from Gaza City, and once that place is occupied, they're going to have to go probably towards the west and where the beach is. And as we speak, the Israeli Air Force are hitting a terrorist cell in the central part of Gaza. Let's go and see what happened there. So this is in Deir al-Bala in central Gaza. Yeah, a huge number of Hamas terrorists have been eliminated over the last few hours, and it's still ongoing, by the way, the attacks. There is absolutely no need or reason for civilians to stay in those areas. When the IDF gives you a heads up in advance for you to leave, you leave. You don't stay. Of course, if you choose to stay to become a martyr, then you can become a martyr if you want to. But there's no need for civilians to remain in areas that are being hit. You have to leave. Now, there's a statement from one of the Hamas spokespeople, because they are desperate for some sort of lifeline to be thrown at them. They want a deal, and they don't really mind what sort of deal at this point. There is a reaction from this idiot, senior Hamas official Mahmoud Mardawi, who has said Netanyahu is the primary obstacle to any deal that would end the war. He is deliberately delaying responding to mediators, preventing the release of hostages, and obstructing all international efforts and medications. Of course, every single thing that Mahmoud said is a lie. The only obstacle right now to peace is Hamas, and they are refusing to disarm. So obviously the IDF have to completely occupy that place for now in order to clean it up, because nobody else cares apparently. The so-called international community and the United Nations, who claim to be against extremism, they claim to be in favor of peace and democracy, they don't care. So they're allowing to happen. Now, of course, it's a job of the IDF to keep their country safe and also fight the battle on behalf of the West. Let's go to the second video we've received from central parts of Gaza following the attack by the IDF. One of the main things to mention is that you don't necessarily even have to completely evacuate the central parts of Gaza fully. All you can do is just leave certain areas. For example, at the same time, there was yet another humanitarian aid airdrop that was done over Nusayrat, which is also in central Gaza. And of course, people were happy about that. Let's go and see what happened there. There we go. So that's an area. It's not too far from the place I showed you, but you can still go just a few minutes away and you get your humanitarian aid as long as you behave and you'll be fine. But if you choose to stay in the middle of a conflict zone, of course, anything could happen. The Prime Minister of Israel has now said that we are going to completely invade. So this could happen within the next few hours, but we will wait and get to get the confirmation, because I want to make sure that Tousi TV will bring you guys the live coverage of the moment of the invasion fully first. The heavy strikes also being continued in Deir al-Balah in Gaza. Let's quickly go and see what happened. Again, the civilians were supposed to evacuate, but they didn't. Now, in front of cameras, they're running away, panicking. Why? Idiots. Now, if you go to our Tousi TV live feed from the border, we can now confirm that another terror attack has now been reported against the IDF soldiers, this time in Hebron. A terrorist fired a pistol at the Israeli soldiers and they very quickly neutralized him. No others have been injured apart from the Islamist, who has now been taken out. Again, it's another example of effing around and finding out. The US ambassador to Israel has also delivered a message to the international community saying that the two-state solution is currently not a priority. So that is a message from the United States government alongside the Israelis, that we are not even going to be considering a two-state solution, unlike the Europeans, because by default you are rewarding terrorism, you are encouraging bad behavior, and you're telling every bully in the world that if you want something that we are not giving you in a civil way, all you have to do is to bully us, cause chaos, take some people hostage, and then we will give you what you want. You do not reward this level of mental behavior. So the Americans and the Israelis are on the same page compared to most of the Western European countries. Of course, Germany are also on the same page with the United States and Israel. In terms of the major countries, we can only see Germany from Europe. Major countries, of course. There are a number of other countries, including Italy, that are being friendly and cooperative when it comes to the American-Israeli plan and vision for the Middle East. We also now have received the latest video from Jabalia in Gaza. The IDF are also making their move over there. Let's quickly show you what we are dealing with and see what happened. Don't know why they put music in the background. They're still walking around. So again, when the IDF gives you a heads up to leave an area, you leave. You do not stay. It's just not wise. It's not practical. Now, the Israeli Defense Forces have also said and confirmed a failure on their parts because a number of Hamas terrorists have managed to infiltrate a military camp. The Israelis have now said that this was a failure, that Hamas managed to enter our camp. This was near Khan Yunis in Gaza. Apparently, Hamas managed to infiltrate this IDF camp through a tunnel and even into a building where soldiers were stationed, Israeli soldiers. After a 10-minute fight between the two sides, the Israeli forces have managed to repel the attack. 15 Islamists were eliminated. Several of them fled back into the tunnel. 3 Israeli soldiers were wounded. One of them seriously wounded. His condition is improving. So there is now an investigation by the Israelis to figure out what happened. We do have some footage from this, and well, released by the IDF.
יש פיר, הם בכניסה לפיר, 2 מחבלים, 5 שניות לפגיעה. מצוין.
That's when they hit them.
יש שם עוד אחד, אנחנו מנסה רגע להגיע לשם, הוא לא מצליח בגלל האש. 2-3 סגר. שיגר. בול פגיעה. עבודה יפה.
Now, the Israeli Defense Forces have also acknowledged that the shortcomings, but they did highlight that the soldiers' courage and immediate air support really helped. They have now said that the quick lessons will be learned, and there will be extra training and briefings for the soldiers in Gaza, in and out of Gaza. Let's not forget, by the way, that the Israeli Defense Forces have intensive training for everybody. Having said that, because of the culture in Israel, a lot of the people who join the IDF are young people, and people always see the IDF as obviously very, very strong, and they are very competent, very experienced. But people in their heads always assume that, well, they all must be in their mid-30s or early 40s. They've been there for a long time. They're all veterans. Not necessarily. A lot of them are young kids who just 18, 19, and they get involved. And of course, shortly after that, they can get into the front line. Despite the age, they are still extremely experienced and professional, but things do happen and mistakes do happen. Of course, they have acknowledged this, and the cabinet will also be reviewing what happened. Let's quickly show you another clip from that moment. This is when the 10-minute fight was happening between the Hamas Islamists and the soldiers. That's the camp in Khan Yunis. There we go. So that's when they managed to eliminate the threat that was happening on the ground. So as we said, the infiltration happened through one of the tunnels, and they managed to actually go into the main building where the Israeli soldiers were stationed, which is quite impressive for Hamas, by the way. I mean, it was a suicide mission because obviously, as I said, the IDF just managed to completely take them out. The rest of them did run away, but you're not going to succeed. You could cause a bit of damage to the Israeli forces, but you can never fully defeat them. Just don't even try. What is the point? Anyway, the IDF are showing absolutely no mercy as we speak. The Palestinian terrorists, this time in Zaytoun in Gaza, are being eliminated as well. Let's quickly go and see what's going on.
يا عفو الله غارات ورا بعض هاي الزيتون حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل.
Everywhere.
هيك بتبلش صباحاتنا، انفجارات في الزيتون، ريبورتات متفجرة. حسبنا الله.
Wow, it's crazy stuff. Anyway, so that is the situation. Of course, we still have our live cam from Gaza, and there is you can see just about, almost like next to me, you can see the smoke towards the end. That's near Gaza City from this angle, and we are shortly, will be getting access to our live feed from Khan Yunis inside the Gaza Strip as well, which we're going to bring you guys the live feed once that is ready. For now, let's get some reaction from you lovely humans. We got Ivan in the live chat saying, will Hamas let the civilians leave? They'll try their best not to. Although in Gaza City, as we are getting the intel, most of the civilians have managed to evacuate. Anyone who remains will be perceived as either Hamas members or relatives or supporters of Hamas or Islamic Jihad, and it's on them. They've been given enough time to leave, to keep themselves safe if they want to live. If they don't want to live, if they want to be a martyr, then you can be a martyr. If you want it, again, free choice. Diamond says, Islam is a black magic created by Jewish people. What? Jewish people and shadow gods. The Kaaba is Israelis' greatest asset. No, the Kaaba was a pagan item that Muhammad and his gang hijacked and claimed that it was always there for Muslims. No, they just rewrote history. Anyway, what's he saying? Here's about the Star of David. Anyway, Jewish black magic. Love it. All right. He also says Israel worships an ancient demon. Well, that's why the idea targets children. I am Ezra, I am king. The fascinating part about anti-Semites is that they assume that Israel is not just like a country. Israel, everybody who lives in Israel, are religiously like Orthodox Jews. Like they do Judaism. They think this is like the only place on the planet that everybody basically thinks the same, everybody looks the same, right? Everybody dresses the same. It's not, because, for example, in the UK, in France, in Canada, in the United States, you have people who are Muslim, you have people who are Christian, you have people who are atheist, you have people who are Mormon, and everything else. You have Buddhists. In many other countries, it's the same. You also have people who are right-wing, you also have people who are left-wing, you have people who are internationalists, and those who are nationalists, globalists, more patriots. It's the same in Israel. You have Arabs, a lot of the Israelis, younger Israelis, especially in the West, in Tel Aviv, are atheists. They don't actually even necessarily believe in God in that sense. The fact that the anti-Semites think that Israel and Israelis all worship, a lot of them don't even worship. Culturally, of course, and when it comes to the identity, they are Jews, they are Hebrews. But you also do have a lot of Arab Muslims, you have a lot of Christians who are Israeli. It doesn't work that way. It's not the same as some sort of Wakanda, a fictional place where everybody thinks the same. Everybody is either left-wing or everybody is right-wing or whatever. That's not how it works. But yeah, that's the biggest thing I've learned from the anti-Semites, anti-Jews, like, you know, Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens and those guys. They think Israel, everybody is the same. So if for example, one Jew says something, they're like, that represents Israel. Everybody in Israel just said that. Every Jew said that. All right. What else do we have? John Higgins says the Iranian news channel was accusing Israel of using paranormal in the 12-day. Well, they did also accuse Israel of using black magic. They said that the only reason they were relatively successful was because of black magic. I don't understand, if the Jews have black magic, why can't they use it properly? just take over the world, get it over with. They don't seem to be that competent. Fun times. Okay. Carter says, stop blaming Jews for the establishment of Islam and take some responsibility. That's the other thing, by the way. You have two options. You can't just say, Islam is great, Islam is good, and you know it's the savior, and then at the same time say, well, Islam was a project created by Jews. So which one is it? Are you now against Islam? Pick a side. You can't do both. Shall we get some reaction from the members of Tousi TV Plus? If you want to join our chat forum, if you want to get access to our documentaries, our podcasts, and everything else. We're going to have a new episode of our podcast this weekend, by the way. And make sure to become a member of Tousi TV Plus by going on tousi.tv and download the app. Download the Tousi TV app right now from your app stores, the home of geopolitical news, to get access to all the stuff that I ranted about. Now, let's get some reaction. These are the lovely Tousi TV Plus members with their chat forum. What do we have? Go for it, Israel. The Islamists deserve all of this and a lot more. A bit of shame that you can only delete them once, but once is enough. Rest in peace, the Bibas family. Yes, Israel will always prevail. And Papa Pork says, if Israel say leave, it might be an idea to get out. Duh. It's true. That's exactly what people did in Iran and in Lebanon. When the IDF had to go after Hezbollah or the IRGC, they said, guys, if you're a civilian, you don't want to get killed, just go next door. And people said, okay. And that's how you minimize civilian casualty. Straightforward. Something that no other military force in the history of the world ever did. Now, despite this, the IDF are held to not just high standards, the higher standards. Actually, they are held to an impossible level of standards, which is not really possible to do. Considering that a lot of people who are criticizing the IDF are the Western globalists. You got the Canadian establishment, the French establishment, the British establishment, the American liberal globalists, the US Democrats. These are the same people. You know what they did 20 years ago in Iraq, in Afghanistan? They showed absolutely no mercy. The mess in the Middle East that was created by the liberal globalists in the West. Apparently that was fine. Anyway, if they got a warning and stayed, stupidity is at its finest. I wonder what cause the left will have when this is sorted. Oh yes, that's a good point. I think that's the main point to focus on. What will be the next trendy thing for the left in the West to focus on? Because I think they seem to be a little bit bored of the climate emergency thing. And BLM is kind of like boring now. Yeah, BLM, yeah. They've been exposed as being a Marxist group. And the trans lobby are not doing too well, politically speaking. The LGB, without the T, are fighting back. Go on, guys. And of course, the women's rights. What is next? What can they find? Let me know in the live chat. What do you think is going to be the next trendy thing after the Islamists and also the IRGC have been dealt with? I never knew the malnourished, supposedly starving people could run so fast and have so much energy. Also, they're getting fat. Do we have the guy? Hang on, let me just show you. Let's quickly take you to the border. There is this guy, Gaza, who he's been in a couple of photos, right? And he's managed to get more fat. There we go, I found him. So, this is the best thing ever. All right, let me put it on the screen for you guys. So, context. June 2024, May 2025, and August 2025. He's now become one of the influencers in Gaza. He's like always in front of cameras. He also died a couple of times, like Mr. Fafo. He's gaining more weight. How is this possible? What are they even eating? Apart from all the Nutella, they're obsessed with Nutella, in case you didn't know. Fascinating stuff happening over there. All right. Someone says, I'm in the US, so I will say it. The spray painting of crosswalks is awesome. Oh, in the UK. If the city of Washington, D.C. can paint BLM on the streets, why not other flags? That's the same problem we've had. Apparently you could do the rainbow flag and the Palestinian flag and the Ukrainian flag. But, wow, the flag of your country, you've gone too far. It's too far. Too many flags. We need to control the level of flags. Now, is that anti-Semite back? He's back, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, this is going to be fun. Who's ready for this guy? I'll go to Carter in a second. Indians. Oh, God. You know what's going to happen. Indians are the slave race of the Brits and Israelis. No, they're not. India existed way before the British Empire took over. They created Islam. So wait. Did the Jews create Islam or did Indians? Oh, you Indians. Yeah. I think it was the call centers. About 1400 years ago in India, the call centers that existed, while they were doing the scamming, calling the West, they were also busy creating Islam, right? So they did it to destabilize India. Oh no, the Jews did it to destabilize. Okay, no, the call scammers they didn't do it. The Jews did it to ruin India because obviously the Jews really had a big plan for India. They didn't have enough problems for themselves. They had to focus on India. What else? Steal their diamonds. Okay, they left India. That's the Brits. That's the British Empire, right? After they capped in the river and took their tigers. What I love about this, by the way, is that this person, the Diamond Abdullah, whatever, is sending out posting these messages using super chats. Every super chat is like $10. So keep it coming, Abdullah. Why not? I'll give you some airtime. It's good comedy, right? Carter says, stop blaming Jews. Oh, yeah, we've said that, so I'm repeating myself. Lemma says, hello, been watching for a moment. Like your channel for the info. I'm across the pond. Hello, America. And appreciate your take. Aren't you a little worried about the UK and they're coming down on like 1984? Yeah, of course. As we've been talking about for the past few weeks and few months on Tousi TV, we are trying our best to keep, personally, I'm trying my best to keep myself and my family safe. But on a business level, we are also coming up with new plans to keep the business safe, the channel that we have. But we're also obviously leading our new media revolution movement internationally. That's what we had the new media conference last week, a couple of weeks ago in London, where obviously everybody came from across the world. We have to support each other. Otherwise, it's the UK today. It will be Canada next, and trust me, it will be Canada next. Australia is also getting bad. It's mostly the Anglosphere. It's not looking too good for the Anglosphere. I heard that at that event, an Israeli tank ran over an RPG terrorist. What is this? Battlefield 6. Actually, I have a feeling what we are going to end up seeing from Gaza City, which, by the way, I don't do predictions, but I can easily see potentially the full invasion starting potentially later tonight, or probably, well, I'm going to say this weekend definitely, but could be later tonight, right? It seems quite peaceful. Oh, the smoke is gone. Yeah, it's cleared now. That's good. But I have a feeling when it happens, when the Gaza City, the invasion fully happens, the footage from the IDF cameras is going to look like Battlefield 6. Because there's no way, if Hamas are going to choose to just give up Gaza City and just flee, completely flee, because some of them have already fled, right? If they all leave, then that's just boring. You're just surrendering like an idiot, right? If they decide to fight back, there's a few of them obviously left. If they decide to fight back, obviously it's a death wish, it's a suicide mission. But that level of the level of clashes we're going to see is going to be like Battlefield 6. Obviously, if you haven't played Battlefield 6, the beta version, then I can't really help you. But yeah, make sure to get it. It's coming out officially in a couple of months, right? In October? I think the release date is October. Now, I also love your accent. Stop flirting. I've got a wedding in a couple of weeks. I've got a fiance. All right. Abdullah says, he's back. I am the king of Israel. Oh no. Do you know what happened? I made a mistake, guys. I kind of called him out for posting his comments as big super chats. He was giving out like $10. Now he just gave us $1.99. Only $2. Also, you could tell he's using a VPN, right? Unless he's actually in the US. That would be quite worrying for the Americans if Abdullah, the troll, is living in America. Yes, Steve asks a very good question. What happened to the Jewish space laser? Still, yeah. What was the point of that? Sort it out, guys, in Tel Aviv. Jason says, no diamond interested. That's Abdullah. Call him Abdullah. You are the crown prince of stupidity. I'm going to wait for... someone said Abdullah ran out of money. Poor guy. His own mistake. He didn't have to do $10 super chats. He could have just done a few dollars and it would have been fine. Mary says Tousi is naughty. Yeah? You like that? You like that, Mary? You like me being naughty? Isaac Raptor says, Abdullah, time to put down the pipe. You won't get any higher. That's the advice I always give to the Houthis in Yemen. You don't have to be high all the time. There's no need. Just a couple of puffs, you'll be fine. One of the reasons that the Houthis keep missing the target when they launch missiles towards Israel is because they're always high. And that is actually not a joke. That's the reality. Okay, so we are now waiting for the imminent full invasion. To be fair, they've been saying that for the past few days, but we'll wait because the evacuation in Gaza City is now ongoing. And we'll keep you guys posted. But we're going to take a break because we have to come back shortly to give you guys some breaking news coming from Lebanon. Hezbollah are dying out as we speak. Stu says, get the king of Israel to sort your Mossad wages. On that note, thank you so much. Subscribe to Tousi TV. Download the Tousi TV app from your app stores. I'm Maya Tousi, and we are the media.